Hi everybody, it is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. I'm going to try to do this in 15 minutes. Okay, so where do we start? I know I was not supposed to buy any more yarn, but I did, okay? What I'm going to do to keep this within the 15-minute margin, I'm going to show you the bag. It said craft like no one is watching. Inside the bag, 15 beautifully luscious skeins of Big Twist. I caught Joanne's. I have 4 skeins of Varsity Green, 2 skeins of, I have to look up the color of this one, Medium Rose. 3 skeins of Varsity Purple, 1 skein of White, 2 skeins of Mint, 1 of Brown, and 2 of Camel. Now, the reason I'm not taking them all out, 15 minutes for one, and it's the Dickens trying to get them back in here. Now, let me tell you why this purchase happened. Last year, before I started a YouTube channel, one of the channels that I used to watch was a paranormal channel, which I'm very much into the paranormal. I am a sensitive. I realize there are people out there that don't believe in it. I can only tell you what I know and what I feel. So, you don't have to believe. I know what I go through. Okay, so with that being said, the young man's name is Dalen Spratt, and he hosts what's called the Graveyard Shift. If you're interested, I'll put the information in the description box. He also hosts the Graveyard Shift's True Stories, with true crime stories, which are crime stories that are not really heard about. They're really interesting. They are usually anywhere from 11 minutes to maybe 25 minutes long each video. It's not long, but they're very interesting. He's a great storyteller. He also hosts what's called Ghosted or Roasted, which they show paranormal clips that people send in, and we as an audience say whether or not we believe it. If we believe it's true, you ghost it. If you don't believe it's true, you roast it. They came up with a new one called Toasted, and that's if you're just kind of on the fence about it. Dalen is also a member of the Ghost Brothers, who are a paranormal investigative team on the Travel Channel, and they were the first black televised ghost hunting, paranormal investigative team. And I followed them through saw every episode that was on air. Most of them I saw multiple times. Now, with all of that, I have not met Dalen in person, but he opens himself to all of us, a part of his community, and we've communicated. And God put it on my spirit to make them a blanket. I started one last year, but I'm not happy with how it looks. I specialize in graph cans. I've not done a lot of that since I started my channel, and I really want to make one, and I want to make one that's proper and looks good. So his favorite colors are green and purple. With that in mind, I got 4 skeins of green and 2 skeins of mint. And I'm also going to incorporate purple. I'll probably put their names in purple. It's Dalen, his wife Stacy, their daughter Axel, and their 2 doggies, Taco and Tito. So I will be putting all 5 names plus the family last name. I want to make it long enough to go across the couch so that the 3 of them can sit comfortably and cover their laps. It's going to be wider than a normal lap throw, but not taller than a lap throw. And he can use it as a tapestry if he'd like. So, we're under 5 minutes. Okay, so there was another purchase. Because I went into Walmart looking for white, bright white, only white, not soft, muted, cream, off. I just wanted white, because My look at the drawers called for white. When I went into Walmart, I saw a color that caught my eye. And because I am a diehard Dallas fan, I saw this. Guys, this is the Cozy Chenille by Mainstay. It is the color, it's in the colorway of multiple blues or multi-blues. It's 220 yards, 100% polyester. It calls for a size 8 hook or 8 needles. There's a pattern on the inside that calls for a 10 hook. I'm like, make up your mind. But anyway, I am using a size 9. And it's funny because my boy size 9 is an N. And my Susan Bates size 9, the only Susan Bates that I own, is an M. So I'm using the Susan Bates M because I'm not really experienced with chenille. Normally I don't like it. This I happen to love because it's not flaky like I have seen chenille and being. Nothing comes off. Now granted, I'm not trying to rip it apart either, but it was very easy to work with. It's very soft and plushy. There is no residue on it. That was also a bad experience that I had working with chenille before. But this is stretchy. What I did was built a row of single crochet, and then I did a single crochet back across the bottom. Then I did the half double crochet here, a row of double crochet, and then triple crochet at the top. And it made a very, very pleasant swatch. Now this, and your girl doesn't normally like blankets, but guys, this is blue, gray, and white. Can't you see the stars in my eye? Dallas Cowboys, baby. All day, every day, twice on Sundays, and triple time in the off season. Whoop whoop, that's me, DC for life. Okay, so now that we got this out of the way, this is half double crochet. It is 121 stitches long, and so far this is 12 rows. And it just about, this is on the other end of the 12 rows, so it just about took one skein to do the 12 rows. So I'll probably get maybe a quarter of the way back through. So 12.25 rows you can get out of one skein. I am definitely going to be buying more because this will fit across the top of my bed, and I have a queen size bed. So that's that. Okay, so we got one down. Also, back to the Joann purchase. The reason I got the camel, the brown, the pink, and that color white is because Lisa from Happy to Hook Creations does a contest every month. Last year it was greeting cards. This year it's classic movies. I love classic movies. One of my favorites is Imitation of Life. Now I also love musicals. My favorite musical, classic movie or classic musical is Jesus Christ Superstar. My second favorites, it's a tie between Pygmalion, which is also known as My Fair Lady, starring Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison, and Sound of Music, Julie Andrews. Her pick for this month was Sound of Music. And what you do, she shows the picture, the billboard picture. Of course, it's Julie Andrews standing on the hillside with the yellow flowers and the mountains in the background, snow-topped mountains. And it's beautiful. It's like, oh, I wish I was there. But you get an inspiration from what she shows, or however you're led to make something in honor of that. Well, what I'm going to try to do is amigurumi. I'm going to try to make a doll, a little girl with a white dress, and I need to buy the blue ribbon. You know, the girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes. It's a part of the movie. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I usually try to submit 2 entries. So I don't know what the second is going to be yet. We'll figure it out. Now, look at the draw. I have added my 4th color here. Set myself up for the 5th color, which I think the 5th color is what our 5th color was. I'm going to check with Trish to be sure. And after I finish everything, if I can just go ahead back and start the 5th color, then that's what I'll do. I also added my 4th color and set myself up. This is the turtleneck cowl, which it'll be folded down and worn as such, or up as a mask. And this is the hat, part of it, that goes with it. We have quite a lot to go. So both of the hats are going to be on the larger side, which is fine. I'm going to keep that up here. So that was 3 of the 9 that I'm doing. And I finished all of this before midnight, and I'm so happy. This is my infinity cowl. And you see I added white and set myself up with the buff from that. This is going to be a slouch hat, so it's obviously going to be bigger. It's even too big for my head. Now you get a hat too big for my head. That's a big hat. So I'm grateful for the fact that I did get 5 of the 9 projects done. That means that I did more than half. The only thing I have left to work on are my blankets. And somewhere between being that it is now Friday, somewhere between today and Sunday, I will have all of those caught up. I'll do the blankets. But I really want this. It took me, in waking time and working time, it took me about, I think it was about 2 hours to do a skein, and that was with a few little other things in there, stopping to take a smoke break and, you know, getting up to go get. I didn't count the downtime, but I did count the time I was sitting here. So it probably takes a little less than 2 hours to work it up. I can see this being done by the end of this weekend, and I can also see me possibly starting on my little angel in the white dress with blue satin sash. So that's what I am going to be doing. I will keep you updated. There is something else I want to talk about. My post on Facebook is one that I got from our Atlanta, and it just simply says, I'm paraphrasing, there are things that once we reach a certain point of our life, whether it's due to health or age, that we can no longer do. And it becomes frustrating to people around us. But what those people need to realize is that it's twice as frustrating for us, because we're the ones who used to do these things, and we can't do these things anymore. And it's heartbreaking, it's depressing, it's frustrating, and because of the actions of others, it drives us into a state of recluse. And it's not fair to us. We didn't ask for this. So be mindful of how you treat people. But always remember to love yourself, because self-love is the best love of all, the greatest love. And you can't love others the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. You deserve the best. Remember, Kitty Lane told you, Remember, Kitty Lane loves you. And with that, until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace. Under 15 minutes.